Welcome back to LearningStrome Academy. So friends, today the topic that we are going to discuss is India data type. Okay. So now friends, why I am trying to make videos on individual topic just because I want to clear some specific point to you all. Okay. So in this video we are going to discuss why we use India data type, okay, and what are the uses for it, and what are the errors that when we are going to assign a value that will be beyond its range, and what are the applications for it, okay, and how it is saved in actually in my machine used to save it, okay, in which format it saves it, okay. So we are going to discuss all these things, okay. So let's start from integer data type. So when integer data type, actually it is most commonly used data type commonly used data type, okay. That's why you can also think whenever we have to declare any variable, okay. If I want to represent any value of integral form, okay, like I want to represent a value like 128 or 147 or 198, okay, I want to represent that value. For that, even for that value, even we are going to declare it as a integer type. Actually this value is also can be represented by short, but we are not used to represent it by short. Why friends? There is some reason, or just generally we are used to represent every value, integral value, as int, okay. If there is any reason, okay friend, there is some specific reason why people are mostly used why people mostly declare any value integral value as integer. The reason is this that, friend, my compiler also prefers integer data type for any integral value. If I'm getting any variable as a short or byte, now my compiler is also going to convert it as an integer first, then going to perform any work, okay, any task, okay. Let's think any expression in which I am using byte data type and short data type. If I'm going to add these both number, now my compiler is going to first promote it into integer number, and then going to perform the operation, and going to going to save this number again in particular format, okay. So you can see, friend, our compiler is also friendly with the integer data, okay. So that is the reason why people mostly declare any number as integer number, okay friends. So that's why integer data type is a mostly common data type, okay. Now this point is clear to you all, okay. So whenever anyone is going to ask why integer data is most preferably used, then that is the reason, okay friends. So now you know. So how much byte it takes to store? Generally friend, in each kind of machine, for each kind of machine, Java is going to take only 4 bytes to store the data, okay. So now it is taking 4 bytes. So now you can assume that how much large number it can represent, okay. So now we have 31 bits to represent values and 1 bit to represent a sign of number, as data type can also hold a sign number. So now you can calculate what will be the range of the integer data type, okay. So now friend, the range of the integer type can be 21, 47, 48, 36, 48. That will be my negative number, okay. In case of negative number, it is a minimum value. If you are going to maximum value that integer can represent is 21, 47, 48, 36, 47, okay. It is the maximum number that my integer data type can represent, okay. So now friend, you can see this is a valid range for integer data type, okay. If I am going to assign any value, that will lie in the particular range, my compiler is going to accept it normally, okay friends. So this is the range of the my integer type, okay. So as I said you that integer, out of 32 bits, 31 bits are used to hold the data, and 1 bit are used to represent the sign bit of a number, okay. That the most significant bit used to represent the sign of a number, okay. So these are the 32 blocks, out of which 31 are used to represent a number, and most significant bit are used to represent the sign of a number, okay. Positive and the negative. It can be positive or it can be negative, okay friends. Now what is the case where my integer data type differs from other? First case is that my compiler prefers only integer data type, okay. This is the first case, so also note it down, okay. Other case where my compiler behave different from the other data type, okay. So let's see what is the case. Okay friends, let's see. If I'm going to, okay, let me make it command first. I'm going to declare any data like short, okay, let I'm declaring a variable short, and I'm assigning a value like something that will be out of beyond the range of the short data type. Okay, in that case what will happen? Okay, again let's take byte data type also. I want to show you byte data type, and I'm assigning value that will be beyond the range of the byte data type. Then what happens actually, as I told you all in the previous lectures, what will happen when we are going to assign a value that is beyond the range of a particular data type? What actually happens, my compiler is going to think that okay, this value comes in the category of integer. Okay, it is beyond the range of the byte data type, so my compiler is going to throw an error that byte cannot be converted to int. Okay, in this case, also what happened actually, my compiler is going to think that okay, this is the value that comes in the range of integer. Okay, because my compiler works with integer data type. Okay, by default. Okay, so it is going to think okay, it is an integer data type. Okay, okay, it comes in the range of short? No. So if it is not going to come in the range of short, in that case my compiler is going to throw again an error that int cannot be converted into short. Okay, let's see. I'm going to save it, and if I'm going to compile it, you can see, friend, we are getting an error that we cannot convert into byte. Okay, see, we are trying to convert into byte. Okay, here you can see that we are getting an error, int cannot be converted to short. Okay, friend, this kind of error we are getting. Okay, but friend, what actually happens when we are trying to assign a value that will be beyond the range of the integer? Should compiler is going to give an error, long is cannot be converted to int, or what? Let's clear the screen first. Or what, friends? Have any idea? If you have any idea, then comment in the comment box. Okay, so friend, what will happen? Usually what actually happens whenever we are going to assign any value that will be beyond this range, then my compiler is going to think okay, which range it is. Okay, it belongs to this particular range. Okay, so my compiler is going to throw an error, we cannot convert this value to this data type. Okay, so if this comes in the case of int data type or long data type, so my compiler should give an error like long cannot be converted to int. Okay, na? Something like that, na? Okay, let's see which kind of error it is going to give us. So friend, if I'm going to run it, compile it, now you can see, friend, we are getting an error that integer number too large. Okay, here my compiler not giving me error that long cannot be converted to integer. Okay, my compiler is giving me error the integer number too large, because my compiler thinks everything like for integer. Okay, if it only works with integer. Okay, so my compiler not thinking that oh, I have a number that is not in my range, that is not in the range of integer. Okay, so no, it is not going to think for, okay, it is not going to check okay, it is a long number, it is not going to check. Okay, actually it is coming the range of long, but my compiler not giving me that it is a long number. Okay, I cannot convert long to int. Okay, my compiler is still thinking that it is integer, and then when we are trying to my compiler is trying to assign this value at the compile time, if my compiler is checking getting that it is a larger value, so how can I present? So that's time my compiler is throwing an error, integer number too large, I cannot assign this value to my particular variable. Okay, that is the error we are getting, friend. Okay, so remember it, this is a point, notice it, make a note of it. Whenever we are going to assign a value that will be beyond the range of an integer, at that time we are not going to get an error that integer number long number cannot be converted to int. We are going to get an error that integer number too large. Okay, friends, so when okay, this is the case, not make a note of it. Okay, case B, friend, other case which also is very different from other integer data type. Okay, which also vary for other kind of data type. If I'm going to proceed a number with L, then it is going to behave like a long data type. That time this value is going to behave like a long data type. Okay, implicitly my compiler is not going to think that it is a long data type. My compiler thinks when we are going to proceed a L, after the number. It can be smaller or it can be capital. Okay friends, so if I'm going to assign this particular value to my integer number, in that case my compiler knows now that okay, this is a long number. Okay, in that case my compiler is going to throw an error that long cannot be converted to int. Okay, in that case my compiler is going to throw an error that long cannot be converted to int. Let's see. I'm going to save it first and then I'm going to compile it again once. I'm going to combine it. Now you can see friend. Okay, let's make it comment. Well, let's take a value that will lie in the range of this. Okay, now you can see we are getting an error that long cannot be converted to int. Now you see when we are going to define explicitly that this is a long number. Okay, at that time we are going to get an error that long cannot be converted to int. Okay friends, so this is the case where our integer data type behave different than the other data type. Okay friends, and all other cases are same. If I'm going to assign any other data type that is not compatible with integer data type, in that case we are going to get an error that a particular number that belongs to this category is not going to going to convert in integer format. Okay, let's see if I'm going to try, if I'm going to convert if I'm going to assign a number a boolean value to an integer data type, that at that time we are also going to get an error that boolean cannot be converted to int. Okay, this is the case that is same with all other data type. Okay, so the first two cases that are unique to integer data type. Okay, this is this. Okay, whenever we are going to assign a number that will be beyond to range of integer, the compiler is going to throw an integer numbers are too large. Okay, if I'm going to proceed a negative sign before it, then what will happen? Actually this is the value range for the integer data type. Okay, if I'm going to assign a negative number also, actually this is a valid range for integer data type. My computer is working fine. Yeah, if I'm going to put this before it, it is a beyond the range of our active number. Then also we are getting an error integer number are too large. So friend, make note of it. It is mostly asked question. If I'm going to assign a value that will be beyond the range of the integer number, in that case what we are going to happen? Okay, so not we are going to get an error that long is not converted to int. Okay, so make a note of it. So this is the case where integer data type differ than the other data type. Okay friends, so let's start talk about the applications of the integer data type. Friends, first application, we can use an integer data to for the 32-bit instruction format to keep match for 32-bit instruction format, which is mostly widely used instruction format nowadays. Okay friends, so we can use our integer data type for the 32-bit instruction format, and this is the first application. And also whenever we have to represent any value which will lie in the particular this range, we can use integer data type. This is the most commonly used data type friends, in integer data type. Other use that friend for our compiler also by default uses integer as a default data type for itself. Okay, if I was saying that if I have an expression like num1 plus num2, num1 is an num1 plus num1 is short data type and num2 is belong to byte data type. Now if I want to add it, now my compiler first promote both this number to an integer number and then going to add this number. Okay, and now you can see that my compiler also prefers integer data type internally. So this is the other application of the integer data type. And okay friends, so that's why and then going to save it. As you know, it is a short variable and it cannot hold an integer number, so that's why we need typecast in it a short format. Okay, I will tell you in the next video what is the short typecasting actually. Okay friends, this is the application of the short data type. So that's why you see that our compiler also prefers the integer data type. That's why integer is the most commonly used data type for integral number. Okay, so let's summarize this topic. So what is the size of integer data type? 32 bits. Okay, we know that. So maximum value that it can represent 21, 47, 48, 36, 47. Okay friends. So minimum value 21, negative 21, 47, 48, 36, 48. Okay, there is a common dot point. Okay, so range that a valid range that it can accept is now we have. Okay, now we also know about that. Okay, so how actually it is a present memory if your number is positive, friends, simply we convert in number in a binary format and it is going to save it directly. Okay, so how it is if a number is negative, then how it is going to save is 2 in 2's complete form. Okay friend, it is great you all. Okay, so thank you friends, keep thanks for watching, keep subscribers, like us, okay friend, and share this video more and more so we can I can make more videos for you. Okay, bye bye friends.